What a big number, 450. Yay!
Woo! I did it.
You did nothing. Hello, folks. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Chris Yee.
I'm Roy Kennedy.
And we have a lot of things to talk about today. First of all, we want to say we have a contest. This episode is sponsored from Forbidden Games. And this huge box here, Mosaic, this is the deluxe version. You know, a lot of people have been talking about this online about the deluxe versus the one you buy retail. The Colossal Edition. Sorry. Colossus Edition.
Colossus.
The retail version is not nearly as cool as this edition, which I point out because this is the one you can win today in our contest. We've got one Colossus base plus the expansion pledge for Mosaic, and the expansion's actually on Kickstarter as we speak. But all you have to do to enter this contest is to email us at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put the word deluxe. That's why I said deluxe. I mean, I didn't say the class, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you need to answer how many miniatures are featured in the Wars and Disasters expansion. So the new expansion includes disasters and includes wars. How many miniatures are in there? It's from 1 to whatever.
Spoil it, Tom. Go ahead and spoil it.
I don't actually know the answer to this one. I cannot spoil it.
Are you sure you don't have this number just ingrained in your memory right next to your childhood telephone number?
I'm one of those savants who's like, 47. I don't know. All right. So that's one piece of news. Another thing is, as a general reminder, don't forget that you can get the audio versions. If you're looking for a podcast version, you can find all of that at dtvaudio.com. You can subscribe to a podcast that does the audio of some of our stuff, our top 10s and different things like that. Also, Dice Tower East registration opens up in 1 week. All right, so badges and hotel rooms go on sale November 1st. I guess that's a week and a day.
Atlantic.com, November 1st.
Alexa, stop.
Will be released for the first time.
Didn't you say you were going to unplug that?
I did say I was going to unplug her. I don't know why. What did I say there? Did I say the word Alexa?
What movie is coming out November 1st? Sounds like Fantasia.
I also thought that's what you said, but don't worry about that. Okay.
That's Fanta.
All right. Anyhow, November 1st, which is a week and a day from now. Anyhow, badges will go on sale. Adult badges are $140 plus the fees. This will all be at tabletop.event, and kids will be $115, realizing that there's a limited amount of kids who can come. There's no VIP badges this year. Everyone is equal, except for us. We're lower than that. Keep in mind, we're not really increasing the size from last year, and we did sell out last year. So if you're thinking about coming to Dice Tower East, you do not want to delay. And also, we were having a discussion the other day of the best hotel that of all the conventions we go to, and it's Dice Tower East. The Carib is an amazing place to stay. You'll be able to get the rooms, hotel rooms, and you'll be able to do that. And you can find all this information at tabletop.events, checking out Dice Tower East there.
We'll go down the water slide again. It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, it is. Oh, my son went down it like 257 times. So
yes.
Oh, it's so fun.
We're also going to be looking for folks to help run our library and to volunteer, and you'll be able to do that after you purchase your badge. So we'll have more information about this next week because next week is when registration opens. So that's the thing. The last thing is, do you want merchandise for the Dice Tower? Want to support us a little bit that way? Check out dicetowerstore.com. You can get hats and tumblers and things like that. So all that is going to be there. And I think that's all the stuff we have to start out the episode with. That's enough stuff. Let's get to some people talking about games.
Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from Maple University. Today we are excited to show my shelfie. This is by the powerful Dream Team duo, Australian duo, Phil Walker-Harding and Matt Dunstan. So they're originally from Australia, well, Phil still in Australia, But this is a shelfie stacking game. So each player would start with this. And then what do you do on your turn, Taryn?
And each turn you'll be collecting tiles from a board and then slotting them into one of your rows, one of your columns, bottom to top, and you'll be trying to make various patterns and combinations through the game.
It's really, the rules are really simple, but there are a few ways of scoring. If you have a group of the same color together, then you score certain points. There are different, there's a welcome to style points where whoever gets to that goal first will score higher, and then the second one, the next player will score lower. And there are personal objectives as well.
Yeah, I reckon it's interesting that they've gone for the name My Shelfie for this game, because it's a term that we kind of mostly use within the hobby, or maybe if you're a book reader or a few other things. Which is interesting because it's a game that is simple but has some nice intrigue and has that sort of crossover potential.
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued by the name. I just wonder if that will turn off the crossover.
Well, it's probably the pun. That's actually
I just wonder if it's a broad enough term.
All right, there you go. So I really enjoy this. My Shelfie. Check it out. And thanks for watching. Bye.
Assalamu alaikum. For Catan, there is an achievement chart now available, and if you like to keep track of those kind of things where you're getting achievements for completing something or different players have that kind of competitiveness in your group, then you can keep this chart in your game, and as soon as you complete certain objectives, for example, did you complete the objective of the longest route, did you win the game with revealing a development card at the end of the game, how did you achieve that victory and get that achievement? Maybe next time try to win in a different way based on the achievement chart given in the table. If you are able to complete, you get those achievements. Multiple achievements give you different stars in the game. So if you have that kind of nature, then get the Catan achievement chart from the BGG file section. That's it for me. Happy gaming.
All right, today we're talking about Lord of the Rings, The Duel. This came out 20 years ago. I'm assuming I'm the only person here to play it?
Yes.
All right, this is designed by...
Why did we even bring you in? I thought...
Listen, I would love to have played this, but isn't this the one where you're running back and forth trying to...
hates Lord of the Rings.
You shall not pass!
This is from Peter Neugebauer, who designed other great games such as Vampire Mau Mau, Asterisk and Obelisk Mau Mau, and Duck Duck Bruce.
Okay, so
Prolific.
Is this a Duck Duck game or is this a Mau Mau game?
Interestingly enough, Duck Duck Bruce is rated 5,736. Lord of the Rings: The Duel is rated 5,735.
Whoa.
That's got to be impressive that his two games are somehow next to each other like that. He's probably at home, took a picture of that. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, so this is rated 5,735. This game here is a bridge. So this is supposed to be the duel between Gandalf and the Balrog. Gandalf represented by a black pawn, the Balrog by a bigger red meeple type thing. You can see the picture there.
Well, it's got a little archway bridge, little steps. Duk, 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 duk.
This is part of the Cosmos 2-player line. I gave this game a 6. I think I probably originally gave it a 7, but it's dropped down because there's been a gazillion games. I like the theme of it, and I do like John Howe's art on the cover there. I think that's a pretty cool looking cover. But basically, you are playing cards back and forth. It's almost like a big war game. And
like War, the card game?
Yeah, and then like if you win, you're moving up farther on the bridge, and whoever's up the highest up on the bridge after 4 rounds wins.
Just like in the movie.
Just like in the movie. Yes. And I'm pretty sure that no one has ever played this game without one of the 2 players saying you shall not pass, causing another player to pack it up in the box and put it away.
Right. Yeah. Look, I gotta tell you, if I'm playing the Balrog, that's the first line I say.
Do you think that Gandalf tried to steal the Balrog to get all the XP and come back next time leveled up? Like in the movie? Like he's like, get out of here, I'll take care of this, and then he just got all the experience for himself.
What do you think about the internet theory when he says "fly, you fools"? That he's telling them to use the birds to fly.
That is pretty funny. I love that.
But that is not what that means. It's clear he's just telling them to run in an archaic way.
But it's cute.
But yes,
yes, he's like now dangling onto this bridge into like, oh yeah, there's eagles in this world.
Only I know them. They should get there. That was the plan the whole time.
And so he says, I'll just use the word fly. They'll figure that out. So anyhow, yeah, this is kind of a cool game. If you see it for $10 or less, it might be worth your while to pick it up and give it a whirl. But I don't think you'll play it much more than that. I don't believe we have it in the Dice Tower library, because there's so many of these two-player games, and this one is not in the upper echelon of them. It's fine, it's good, but that's about it. So that's a game from 20 years ago.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
All right, today we are talking about The Spill. So if you've heard of tower defense games, right, where you kind of all surrounded by all these bad guys and they're all kind of charging at the middle, this game is kind of the opposite. You've got this giant oil rig dice tower in the middle of the board, and all this oil has been leaking out and spilling out of it. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to contain the oil spill. You're trying to kind of contain it in there, and you're also trying to protect wildlife at the same time. It's kind of a reverse tower defense game. That's kind of the big theme of this game.
I really like how it randomly populates the board, and it's kind of stressful every single time because you honestly don't know what cube it's going into, and you have like these spill out tokens, and if you get so many of them, you just automatically lose the game. So I like that fun little bit of stress that happens when you're putting these dice down the oil rig tower, cube tower thing, and it just kind of is going like you're like, please don't go in this sector, please don't be this number, but it could be, but it might not be. Maybe you're fine for like ever, maybe you're never fine. So I just really liked how the board populated itself.
I really enjoy it when games mechanics match their theme, and The Spill did that very, very well. Everything just kind of made sense. You know, as far as if you're rescuing an animal from an oil spill, it's going to take more time if it's already been drenched in oil, right? So you have to have extra action points in order to do that. The way that the oil populated by using that dice tower, and then kind of spilled out, and then it kind of overflowed into other areas, you know, that all made sense to me mechanically within the game. You have these boats that are moving around the exterior, how their movement worked, how you're able to clean up with oil, and the animals themselves all made sense. It all fit mechanically to the gameplay and the theme.
Yeah. Everybody, this was a fun one, and we really enjoyed it. If you want to hear more from us, make sure to find us on YouTube. We are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. Until then, you can find us in all of these places. Everybody, this is Ryan and Bethany, hoping you have a happy, healthy breakfast.
Bye, everybody.
Guys.
Hello, my name is Aaron and welcome to One Word, One Question. Today's word is sequel. Now, these days it seems like everything is getting a sequel. Even that really obscure property from the 80s that everyone likes for some reason, but you don't understand the appeal of? Yeah. Anyway, today's question is, how much do you prefer sequels over other types of board game content? Answer A, if you would prefer a sequel over something like an expansion or a new game. Answer B, if you would prefer an expansion over a sequel or a new game. And answer C, if you would prefer a new game over something like a sequel or an expansion. As for myself, I am once again in Group B. Do I manipulate these to put myself in Group B every time? No, I don't do that. Anyway, I definitely prefer expansions to games I like over sequels or things like that. However, that's not always the case. For example, I am one of the 10 people that prefers King of New York over Tokyo. So there's that. But when it comes to sequels, sometimes I feel like it can get out of hand. For example, Azul has as many sequels as Sagrada has expansions. And anyway, that seems like a lot. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments. I look forward to reading them, and I hope to see you again in another video. Take care. Bye.
It's the last week of Halloween decorations. Well, maybe. I guess I can leave them up next Monday. Well, whatever.
Yeah, get in that festive Thanksgiving spirit.
I am going to get in that festive Thanksgiving spirit.
Be grateful we don't generally have skeletons around in our lives.
There we go.
All right, folks. What's coming from the Dice Tower this week? Well, me and the kids are reviewing a couple games. We're reviewing both Cheaty Moths, which I talked about in Ridiculous Games last week, and Walk and Roll. The big reviews this week, we'll be taking a look at The Great Split, the King of Monster Island, the King of Tokyo cooperative game, and Revive. I know a lot of people are interested in those. Party games, Duos, the very popular solo game, Resist, coming out. Alien Pet Shop, Ticket to Ride Ghost Train, Palm of My Hand. You're like, what are these games? Well, watch the reviews and see. Transcontinental, The Wolves. Oh, nice. On Thursday, we're not going to be doing a top 10 list this week, but we'll be doing some party
top
games.
50.
We're doing Party Time at the Dice Tower, so come watch us play some of the new hot party games that are out there. And there's some pretty cool ones out there. I'm pretty interested to see which one we like the best of those. Other things happening, Rustling Leaves. I don't know what that means. Is that a game?
It's a roll and write.
It's a polymori roll and write. That'll actually be both a review and in 45 minutes.
Oh, what's happening?
What's happening
The
with Z
same
Garcia.
thing. Interesting.
Yeah.
There you go.
Interesting. Oh, Eric is doing Summer Time, so you'll get to see some of his quick shot reviews. So all that's going up this week and even more. Of course, our live shows, Smorgasbord. Oh, the Delicio Factor is back. What's the game, Mike?
I haven't decided. I'll put it up tomorrow.
Well, keep an eye out for that. I'll be back today at, so live things today is just this. At 10 o'clock will be What's Happening, Rustling Leaves, and at noon, live Q&A. So all that stuff's coming your way. Let's keep moving.
Good morning, Board Game Breakfast. My name is Amanda Polk, and I'm usually here to tell you about a game I'm really looking forward to, but I'm spending the next few weeks filling you in on games I was looking forward to and what happened when I finally got them. And this week, we're going to talk about Catapult Feud. Now, this is a game that some people might call an activity, and I say if it's fun and my kids want to do it, it's a game, and it comes in a Ticket to Ride sized box. How could it not be a game? So this is a game where you are taking all of these blocks that are packed in here, build a castle with these blocks, and then you use this here very carefully put away, perhaps too carefully because I can't get it to come undone, catapult, and you put these cannonballs in there, you fling them at your opponent, and you try to knock their little people off of their castle. It is great fun. I've really enjoyed playing it with my kids, and they are taking this opportunity to learn conflict resolution and turn taking. Okay, just turn taking, but still, it's a win in my book. So Catapult Feud, this one's sticking around for a while, and bonus that I get to play a little kids game and pretend like I'm just doing it for the kids. Really, it's lots of fun. So the war for the floor continues once more with Catapult Feud. That's it for me. Hope you have a great breakfast. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hello, this is Oliver, and last segment, some of you were commenting about Flamecraft on my shelf, and I hadn't got a chance to play it, but just before recording, I got to play Flamecraft, so today we're going to be talking about Flamecraft by Cardboard Alchemy. Flamecraft is a game where you are going to shops to get resources, to get cards, to get points, to win the game. One thing I like about Flamecraft is, thanks to game trays, everything fits in the box. There's even a playmat that fits there. So thank you, game trays, for adding no extra components, especially with that playmat. Another thing I like is that the art is very cute. Like, on the dragon minifigures, like, they're all unique, which I think is cool. And then on the shops, they have a really cool, unique art style. Another thing I like is how sometimes on your turns you can flame up all the dragons in your shop to then wombo combo those things so you can prepare for future turns, which I think is really cool. Another thing is there's funny puns on the shops. Like, one of them is the Spice Tower, which is kind of a pun on the Dice Tower, which I think is really cool, and that's just one example, but there are many. Another thing I like is that it's a super simple, easy game that you can play with anyone. It's a good game to introduce to new gamers. And that's all for me. Have a combo-tastic breakfast. Bye.
All right, it's time for Best of the Shelf. And we're going to take a look at one of the shelves at Dice Tower Library. And even though Roy's visiting today,
I'm here.
Roy, the shelf was made for you.
Hey, there are a couple games on it that I saw.
Shelf 1C.
I didn't think this was going to be this long, Tom.
Go. Shelf. Okay, so first of all, this is a shelf that has a couple duplicate games on it. We start with Brass Lancashire, which is not nearly as popular as Brass Birmingham. Both of these versions of the original Brass. This is actually the redone version of the original Brass. This is a much more popular, newer version. Samurai, that's the classic game from Reiner Knizia, which was remade from Fantasy Flight a few years ago, controlling areas. The very popular Everdell. This is not the gigantic new box version of it. Abyss, this was just in our competition for most beautiful covers from Bruno Catala. Volt, this is a robot programming game from Emerson Matsuuchi, one of his original games. Bunny Kingdom, a drafting game from Richard Garfield. Gutenberg, this one just came out last year from Grana Games, a printing press style game. Rajas of the Ganges, a dice drafting placement, all kinds of stuff mixed together in one game. Spike, this is a game a lot of people haven't heard of. It is a simple little train game, although this one may not be on the shelf much longer. We'll see. Santa Monica from AG, about building your own little pier. And then the newest hotness on this one is Flamecraft, a cute dragon game about just a whole lot of different kind of an engine building sort of game. It's hard to explain. Watch our review. All right. Well, we'll go with Roy first because I'm pretty sure I know what Chris's is.
Guess, what's mine?
Yours? I don't know if you played Volt, but if you did, it's Volt.
Bunny Kingdom.
I haven't played either of those games. So
Volt is Emerson Matsuuchi.
I know.
Who's one of your favorite designers.
Oh, you haven't played Bunny Kingdom?
I haven't played Bunny Kingdom either. Everdell. I love Everdell. Mike taught me Everdell. I think it's a lot of fun. I love the fact that you're getting the different stuff from the different seasons. I love the resources in the game are great. And then I also love the fact that, like, hey, you're building out your little tableau of characters. If you have certain characters, you can get other ones for like cheaper or free or something like that. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a really great game and it's well regarded for a reason. So Everdell for me.
Do you want a box of Everdell larger than the Colossus edition of Mosaic?
No, not so much. I would rather play this like simple. I think it's like a light game, but I mean, I know there's people
but
that
you can
dig
play
into it
with
deeper.
every expansion known to humankind until they come out with more, because why would you stop making money?
I feel like this is the game. That game is the game that like started like some of the.
They need to design
started all
Everdell
the
too.
Cutesy stuff. You know,
They really do need to design a
forest
sequel.
animals. So now, if you put a forest animal in any game, Mike will immediately buy it. So.
All right, Chris.
You have a guess, I assume, right?
Brass Lancashire.
Birmingham.
Yes, I know it's I've yet to meet someone who thinks Lancashire is better.
No, you just invited like 30 comments. There is something to be said.
Fine, but I mean, definitely, I see the checkouts at the library at the conventions.
Oh.
I could take Lancashire out of the librry and no one would notice.
That's why I said 30, not
Okay.
the majority of people out there. No, I think Birmingham is a really great. What's his name was talking about sequels to games, right? Like, this is one of the times where I was a little bit hesitant because I like Brass. I like Lancashire a lot, actually, but or back when it was just called Brass. And so I was like, let's see what happens. Why take a game that's already heavy and complex and throw more stuff into it? But it works really well.
I know it's not my kind of game at all, but it's so highly regarded, and I know it's so
number
high
2
on you guys' list. Like, it's just huge. I want to play it just to say that I have, and then maybe never play it again. But I do want to play it just to see what
When you say
the hype's
time,
about.
it's not high on my list.
No, I was talking to Chris, because him and Wendy both have it super highly ranked in their top 100.
And we are the same person, to clarify.
And they are the same person. That's why only one of them showed up today.
This one's a tough one for me because there's a lot of games I like there, and I mean, half me's tempted to go with the new hotness because I gave Flamecraft a 9, and I really do like that. But I think just edging that out
Bunny Kingdom,
is
right?
no Rajas of the Ganges.
Oh, wow.
No, actually, it was between Rajas of the Ganges and Bunny Kingdom and Flamecraft. Those are the 3 top. But I also
would've thought it would've
really
been
like
Bunny Kingdom.
Gutenberg. But
Gutenberg's the other one, I think.
But Rajas of the Ganges, I don't know. There's just something about it. I mean, one of my favorite mechanisms from it is used in Arc Nova, which is the game I like. I like the
2 score tracks that you need to cross.
Yeah, you know, for all my making fun of in my life of point salad and having 100 mini games in a thing, Rajas of the Ganges has the tile laying of Carcassonne. It has the dice drafting of other games. It has the tracks moving around. I don't know. It has a bunch of stuff, but it really works together almost flawlessly.
Rajas is my Probably my second favorite game on this shelf here, which I just realized is floating above my head. I don't know why I didn't see that earlier. But
also hit you in the head a few times.
Yeah, but there's something really great about doing the worker placement thing and collecting dice and be like, yes, I have a bunch of blue resources, which are 3 and a 4. All right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you gotta figure out how to use them. I like that too.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any other game just straight up copy that. And I think it's great. It still stands out as unique years later.
All right, well, that's shelf 1C. Let's keep moving.
Hey there everyone, it's Jen the Board Game Librarian, flipping some pages and pushing some cubes in my segment from the page to the table where I pair books and board games together that share a common theme. So I started watching the animated series first, and then played the game, which I'll get to, and then read the anime/manga, and that is My Hero Academia. This is volume 1. It follows like an alternate Japan where a large percentage of the population have super abilities. And our main character, Midoriya here, does not have super abilities when we first start out and meet him. But he encounters All Might and is gifted the power of All Might because it's passed on from person to person. Midoriya cries so much. Why is there so much crying? If you know what I'm talking about, please comment below. So much crying in the book and in the show. So yes, of course, I'm going to pair this with the My Hero Academia collectible card game. We started off with just the base game. For now, please, I don't need any more collectible card games in my house, because so this is a 2-player head-to-head game where you're looking to knock the other one out. This one, you have Midoriya, and then you have Bakugo. It's just, the artwork is taken from the TV show, and I think it's fun. It was fun. I liked this a lot more than I thought I was going to. I thought, oh no, not another collectible card game, please. But especially if you have teenagers, this is really, really hot with teenagers right now. I think this would be a great game to play with your children, with your family, and other folks who love the IP. And it's a really growing IP for us in our house. So that's all for this week, friends. Happy breakfast.
Hey board gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, just enjoying a favorite snack from some of my favorite potato chips. Oh that's right, it's Bag of Chips, a brand new game from Blue Orange Games. It's the salty and tasty game. Let's get right to the table and see how it plays. This is the basic setup. As you can see, the production is fantastic. The 4 round cards actually teach you the game, so even if you're playing with new gamers, they're going to figure out right away that you're taking chips out of the bag randomly, and you're discarding objective cards that you don't think you can complete this round. The person who completes the most amount of points during a round is going to get 2 of these victory tokens, and the first person to get 4 is the winner. There's also some tiebreakers for first and second place. The round structure is pretty simple. Right on the cards, we'll draw tokens each round. We'll have 6 cards in our hand, 6 hidden objective cards. They're wildly different in scoring, and players will either eliminate some that they don't think they can do, or at the end they'll decide 2 that they think they can make and score points, and 1 that they hope they don't make because it's negative points if they complete it. There is a little bit of lanyap also. There's this card here. It's kind of a cool catch-up mechanic. We call it the golden ticket card, but it's more of a royal scepter, and it's really hard to get. This cheat sheet shows you that there are very few oranges as opposed to yellows, but if you can come out where there's more oranges than yellow chips on the board, then you're going to automatically win the game, even if you're behind. So that's kind of a cool way to keep somebody engaged at the end of the game. All right, so that's Bag of Chips from Blue Orange Games, an addictive push your luck game that is perfect for the end of the night, and it's got a little bit of that lanyap, a fantastic production that people are going to talk about, and that golden ticket card. Even if you're in last place, you still got a shot at winning if you can somehow get that card matched up. Until next time, laissez les bon temps rouler.
Each week we talk about a bunch of stuff that you can find at the Board Game Geek Store. Many of our promos from past year Kickstarters and things like that are available there. And when you get them, you support the Dice Tower. But there's also stuff here. So we're starting with
All in. Oh, sorry.
I gotta say, I am pretty impressed with these poker chips from Board Game Geek. They feel pretty hefty.
I'll take the 100.
Now, I was very curious about these, so I did break one to see what it looked like on the inside. And it is a metal washer covered in plastic with stickers on it. But I have to say, when you look at the chip itself, did you get that impression?
No.
We actually debated whether it was a sticker or not until I broke one to see.
Right. I definitely assumed it was a sticker because I've seen customized poker chip websites and stuff, and I've looked into it because I've always wanted a custom poker set. These have, I don't know if you can see it too easily in the screen, but they have a little like indentation that says Board Game Geek around the side, which is neat because it's subtle enough, but it still is like Board Game Geek branded, which I think is cool.
They're also not poker. And what I mean by that is usually if you buy any chips there are out there, you're going to get some sort of poker symbols on the sides. I just searched for a long time the ones that I bought that didn't have like the clubs and suits or that just looked like they came from a casino. These are very much, you could use them in any game, and they're not, I don't know, if I'm playing poker-themed chips in a 18xx game, that's weird.
Okay.
For me.
Interesting, I never thought of that. But yeah, I like the denominations. They do the coloring right. Ones are white, fives are reds, blues are 10s. They have 25, they have 20s. I think they have gray 20s.
I didn't even realize there were specific colors for those kinds of things.
Yeah, there's a standardization. When poker chips companies, or when companies do different ones, sometimes it throws people off.
Oh, that's cool.
'Cause they think that they're grabbing fives, and really, this set's said to be cute and make reds ones. And
I didn't know there was denominations for the hundreds and thousands, but yes, it's always white, blue, white, red, blue, green. That's almost always it. I've seen hundreds different colors. Maybe not in poker chips, but like even in board games, if you have chips, if there's a red, I assume it's a 5.
Interesting.
Axis and Allies.
Axis and Allies did that, right?
They were white
didn't know. That's
or
cool.
gray, and then red.
Yeah. No, hundreds are usually black. Thousands are usually yellow. I think this set goes up to 5,000s as well, which is one of the ones that you broke.
But what color is the
I broke
5,000?
one I knew I wouldn't use very often.
Yeah.
Like I knew I would use the 1s and the 5s, and then there's a debate on do you put 20s in a game or 25. It all depends on the game, honestly. So yeah, these are good quality. And then these, which
for the price, really quick, I gotta say these are noticeably cheaper than a lot of other poker chip websites.
yeah, if you buy nice poker chips, they cost about $1 a chip. We're not talking about that really cheap set you can buy in a metal case. Those are much cheaper. You can buy them for like $10, $15 at Walmart. But those also look very casino-y. You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Earrings. Are you putting it in, Roy?
Let's see. It's a gigantic hole, Tom, in my ear. Like, I couldn't even feel it.
Look what it did to Roy!
But yeah, no, they're little D20s. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, here's a game also called Looping from Adamo.
I don't know anything about this, but I'm very attracted to that cover. We just rode a roller coaster that was kind of like that, actually.
Oh, did you like that roller coaster?
I did.
It was amazing.
Oh, I heard you guys found the secret menu of music.
Oh, I mean, Jason was around.
Jason
He
was
told
forcing us to do it, but it was a blast. Most of us did. Some of us don't know how to use a computer, so we're technology in general.
I had a defective ride.
There was an age limit, apparently.
And then, of course, I don't know why I'm showing off these quacks. You already bought these if you want them.
If you
This
own
is
the game, you
expansion.
better have them, basically.
This is definitely one of the most bought. I shouldn't say one of. I know for a fact this is the #1 seller on Board Game Geek.
Is the quack stuff.
The quack stuff. This is the expansion.
I can't imagine playing the game without this after having it. It's kind of almost detrimental to the game because it's like, if I'm buying that game, I'm buying this also, you know?
I genuinely know people who said that, and I believe them because there are some games where like, oh, the Geek Up bits are nice. Like I have Trajan Geek Up bits.
Yeah, you don't need them for that, but they're nice to have.
And they're cool because you pick up a lot of chits and stuff, but you're constantly just manhandling all the things in here, so... Yeah, it's good stuff.
Well, there you go, folks. That is what you can get from the Board Game Geek Store. Let's keep moving.
Hey, Board Game Breakfast, how's it going? And happy October. Now, during this spooky season, I love to play spooky-themed board games, and I'd love to share 4 with you today. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the first game I want to go ahead and jump into is the Scooby-Doo the board game. This is a game that is new to me, a recent Kickstarter, and I'm just super excited to get in with the gang and solve the mystery of this board game. Next is Horrified. Now this is a favorite, a classic favorite, and one that I love to bring around during this spooky season. The next one is Ghosts Love Candy 2. Ghosts Love Candy 2 is a new to me board game from 25th Century Games, and I'm just excited, and the theme looks simply adorable, and look at all that candy on that front of the box. I definitely want to be getting some candy during the Halloween season. And last but not least is this cool little peg game called The Man in the Moon. This is a game where you're trying not to be the man in the moon. You're trying to win so you don't get trapped on the moon forever, which is a horrifying thing to think of when you think about it. But yeah, so those are 4 games I'm excited to get to the table during this Halloween season. I don't know if I'll be doing a Halloween themed party, but if you guys are, let us know in the comments of this board game breakfast, and also any kind of spooky games that you're going to be playing during October. We would love to know. So without further ado, I'll let you get back to your breakfast, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.
Hey there everyone, Jeff here, your tabletop technician on the Dice Tower. And that's right folks, it's time for Game Night Gamble! That's right folks, I'm continuing my series where I recap a few of the games I played at the 2022 Dice Tower Retreat. And today I'm visiting a theme that I've always enjoyed, theme parks, that is. One of my favorite video games was Roller Coaster Tycoon, which lets you enjoy the excitement of building an amusement park, but also challenged you to manage the expectations of your customers while keeping a close eye on your bottom line. Of course, these types of tycoon games don't always translate well to board games because of the vast amount of upkeep that has to transition from the digital to the analog. But then there was 10 Penny Parks. 10 Penny Parks is a worker placement game that will have players building the theme park of their dreams. That is, as long as the dreams fit within the requirements of a few goal cards and provides their guests with ample joy, awe, and thrill. Over just 5 short months, players will expand their land, install concessions, clear trees, and make way for a variety of amusements, which are represented by these polyomino tiles and placed using a challenging set of rules in which tiles can never share sides with each other. And just like those tycoon games, players will earn income at the beginning of each round, and that income can be augmented by their concessions as well as any souvenir amusements. Now, money is used to buy amusements as well as expand your land in the park, but there's also an interesting mechanism by which you can advertise your existing amusements to generate extra points. I enjoyed my experience with 10 Penny Parks so much that I ordered my own copy about 5 minutes after our game at the retreat ended. This game is easy to teach, but a significant challenge to master. And while it's certainly no Roller Coaster Tycoon the board game, you'll always find yourself under the gun in this game with a laundry list of things to accomplish under a razor-thin budget. Now, in the theme of an amusement ride, let me close with this important message.
I was expecting those people to like fly off and die at the end there. Like all my old Roller Coaster Tycoon games. I would see how far I could launch a roller coaster into the park.
Did you have to try to factor in physics? Is that what it was? Or if you just didn't do maintenance on the coasters?
You just didn't finish the coaster and then you opened it.
Oh.
Like you come down a hill and you go up and then you just stopped and you're like, it's now open. Now the newer ones will not let you do it unless you test it. And if it does not test successfully, you cannot put people on it, which I find to be a crime. A crime. You should be able to kill people in a park if you want to. They would just fly off and crash.
They signed the waiver, Tom.
Just like I used to play
if you can't do
the
that.
Zoo Tycoon, and you could just like
let all the animals
take a fence off and all the lions run out. Now I only did that like once a while because actually you're trying to play the game, and that honestly shooting pull off a roller coaster is not particularly exciting after like the 10th time you do it.
Oh, yeah, well.
But you would try to see if you could shoot them off, and maybe it would land on another one if you got lucky, but I was never that good.
Just mix the two games together. Congratulations. You flew out of the coaster park and into the lion den.
Oh, if I could do that, I would so do it.
Out of the frying pan into the fire.
All right, anyhow.
Oh, yeah,
That's it for Board Game Breakfast.
Yeah.
We'll be back in 20 minutes with Z and What's Happening, and then I'll be back with Q&A at noon. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Chris Yee.
I'm Roy Canny.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vasel and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production.